Hi, my name is Maria Fernanda. I'm a student from Universidade Federal do Paraná, presenting an assignment entitled Integrative Review about methodologies used in the diagnostic of head lice. This work is part of a project named Entero e Ectoparasitoses na região metropolitana de Curitiba e litoral do Paraná, from Universidade Federal do Paraná, setor de Ciências Biológicas, with students from the postgraduate program in Microbiologia, Parasitologia e Patologia from Biomedicine and Biological Science majors. Pediculosis is caused by Pediculus humanus capitis, also known as head lice, an ectoparasitic arthropod that has hematophagous habits, with the females laying their eggs on the scalp and both adults and nymphs feeding on blood. A condition that is considered a serious public health issue throughout the world, with infestations being mostly common in children. However, all age groups can be affected. Pediculosis' primary symptom is pruritus, but it can also cause physical discomfort, sleep disturbances, excoriations, and secondary infections. And although its major form of transmission is via direct contact with humans, it may occur through fomites, by sharing personal items such as hairbrushes or caps, with this being a secondary route of contamination. Since there's a lack of standardization in data collection, it's hard to know accurately pediculosis prevalence rate, as well as comparing the findings of different existing studies. Thus, this study carried out a mapping of the methods used for pediculosis recognition worldwide, in order to identify the frequency and efficacy of the methods used, with the possibility of correlating different localities and their epidemiological situations, and to differentiate the presence of adult lice from nymphs and nits. An integrative literature review was conducted, this being a methodological strategy with intent to synthesize the knowledge on a selected theme, along with integrating the applicability of results from the most significant studies. The articles chosen for this review went through a selection process in which 6 stages were performed, namely 1. Elaboration of the guiding question, 2. Definition of databases and criteria for inclusion and exclusion of studies, with these being only original articles written within the last 10 years in English, Portuguese, or Spanish. The descriptors used in the databases were pediculus, epidemiology, and prevalence. 3. Definition of the information to be extracted from the selected studies, which was undertaken based on the reading of their titles and abstracts. 4. Assessment of the studies included. The selected articles in the previous stage were read in their entirety, independently analyzed by researchers, and then included in the review. 5. Interpretation of the findings, carried out with the assistance of a table, filled in with the data present in the selected articles, such as year of publication, purpose of the article, results, etc. 6. Presentation of the knowledge synthesis, in which there was an interpretation of the results and a descriptive presentation of the data. From a total of 127 articles, 36 were selected, in which the predominant methods for determining pediculosis prevalence were visualization, reporting 72.2% of the publications, whereas loss composite was applying 27% of the publications and aspiration in 8.3% of the publications. 95.5% of the studies listed the genders and the age ranged between 6 to 11 years old. Around 30% of the studies were conducted in rural environments and 19.5% in only urban or both settings, while 67.7% of the papers didn't specify the background area. The numbers of professionals were described approximately in 30% of the articles, and the previous experiences were rarely evaluated between the methods used, varying from 10 to 38%. The usage of light sources, magnifying glasses, clasps, and other assorted objects to assist the diagnosis method vary between 65 to 100%. The percentage of general pediculosis detected in all reported articles was higher than the percentage for active pediculosis. Comparing all the methods, the aspiration technique provided the lowest variance between the identification rate of active and general pediculosis, as well as being the only method that reported the whole scalp inspection. This difference in the analyzed results can be seen in some papers that state that nits are usually seen on the occiput and behind the ears, when it's known that nymphs and adults can extend over the whole head. All in all, pediculosis remains a neglected disease, and its lack of standard methodology for diagnosis has made comparison between the results difficult, with information such as gender, age, and environment not being reported in some publications. The absence of standardized methodology contributes to cause negative impacts on health. Therefore, it's essential to establish a uniform method for detecting this disease, as it permits comparison between studies performed around the world, as well as possible measures for controlling and combating this disease.